This is First News at 5. Your top news and weather headlines start right now.
Good evening, I'm Emmeline. Thanks so much for joining us. Well, authorities are working to identify the cause of a partial ferry dock collapse in Georgia that turned a day of celebration into tragedy, leaving at least 7 dead and 6 critically injured. Good evening, I'm Emmeline. We have multiple fire updates from agencies across the state, and we'll get you back to your scheduled programming shortly. Former President Donald Trump is safe tonight after someone opened fire at a campaign rally in Pennsylvania.
As early as the weekend, at least Sunday and Monday.
Woohoo! You know, I'm sure a lot of people like seeing that mild up there on the forecast.
You know, 28 and mild. I mean, normally in January we wouldn't say that, but compared to this, yeah, you better believe it.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I'm with you, Kevin. Okay, can I guess what a face mask call is?
Sure.
Is that when someone grabs the helmet?
Very blatantly missed tonight. Okay. So Vikings fans are going to be mad about that one.
All right, perfectly. Thank you very much. A little less than a month ago, Hurricane Helene ravaged parts of the country, tearing apart homes and displacing neighbors. But through the rubble comes a story of survival and of hope. Kyle Granger has more. The candidates are going full steam ahead as the presidential election is just weeks away now. Yes, it'll happen to me and I'll sing the song that way for like years. Yeah. And then I find out, you know, I go back in my memory and I'm like, oh my gosh, how many people just heard me sing it wrong? You've been here since early this morning, so hopefully those showers will provide you with some good napping weather.
Yes. And Hovland, who's already earned a spot in that tournament in the U.S. Open, he was just there being a good buddy. I'm
so
sure
sweet.
After those 36 holes, Hovland picked up the tab.
Oh, definitely. And you know what? I know the pain of caddying because when I was in high school, my best friend golfed. I think she went pro after high school too.
Oh, yeah?
And I used to caddy for her. So I know
it's a cool job.
Caddying, I did it because I was her friend, just like him.
Just like him, yeah.
Yeah, all right. Thanks, Jeff. We'll be right back. Yeah, I was just going to say that those temperatures look great. We just got to make it past the smoke and haze and it's smooth sailing from there.
Absolutely. That's right.
All right. Thanks, Henry. What do you think? Would you buy a pumpkin that looks like this from the pumpkin patch? Well, it turns out ugly pumpkins are becoming a popular purchase at one Minnesota orchard. When prices are going up, you guys are bringing them down
for you guys.
For the summer, which is perfect. So all of that you just saw, all the construction, everything was just phase 1. Wow. So phase 2, do you want to guess what it is? I'll tell you, it's my favorite part. It's going to be a vineyard that's right off to the side of the facility. So you can come in, walk around, grab some wine, and then walk through the vineyard. And the coolest part, in my opinion, is that they'll have what's called an estate wine, which means they'll use their own grapes to make their own wine. Very cool. So the proof is here. You can find trendy items for the summer and beyond for less. So thanks for joining us, Lisa. And we'll see you next time in our next Thrift Shift. Just could not imagine all that flooding, just wading through that water. It's really incredible to me. But I know, Jacob, you were saying that we're going to get some moisture here, too.
It's a different type of barbecue. But I'll tell you, it's the best kind of barbecue.
See, I think we just have this kicker so you can promote Lexington's Barbecue Festival.
Right. Look it up, Lexington Barbecue. It's the place.
What about you, Megan? Are you a barbecue fan? We just received word state agencies are coordinating with local, federal, and tribal firefighters and emergency responders to battle several large wildfires that spread quickly today across western North Dakota. Governor Burgum says strong winds and dry conditions are creating extremely challenging firefighting conditions, and the state continues to mobilize all available resources to assist local, tribal, and federal agencies in protecting lives and property. The North Dakota Forest Service provided 4 fire engines with crews plus another engine in Kindred through a state wildland fire task force and an initial attack crew from New Mexico to help fight the fires. 2 North Dakota National Guard UH-60 Blackhawk helicopters will be launching at daylight to provide aerial support with water buckets, and more than 24 National Guard firefighters will also deploy in the morning. That's all the information we have for you. Have a great night.
You're watching First News at 6. Your top news and weather headlines start right now.
In a few hours, Representative Kelly Armstrong will take over as the 34th governor of North Dakota. Yesterday, Armstrong submitted his letter of resignation from Congress to Speaker Mike Johnson. In the letter, Armstrong says he resigns as our at-large representative, effective at 11:59 p.m. tonight. Armstrong added a written note that says, "It's been an honor, time to go home." Although he takes over as governor tomorrow, he'll be sworn in on January 7th. His replacement in Congress, Julie Fedorchak, has been going through orientation in Washington and will be sworn in January 3rd. Switching gears now, let's send things over to meteorologist Megan Chata for a first look at the weather. Thanks, Megan. Well, members of the Civil Air Patrol and other volunteers gathered at the Veterans Cemetery in Mandan to honor the 9,000 veterans buried there with a special ceremony. The second Saturday of December is Wreaths Across America Day. It's a celebration where veterans' gravestones are adorned worldwide with wreaths to thank them for their service. Volunteers have been putting this event on at the Mandan Veterans Cemetery for 18 years and began placing a wreath at every headstone 11 years ago. On First News at 10, Ariana Gonzalez delves into the significance behind each and every wreath. Well, Minot also marked the day at Rose Hill Memorial Cemetery. Volunteers and family of veterans laid to rest at the cemetery joined with the Magic City Civil Air Patrol to place hundreds of wreaths on graves today. This is the 9th year Minot has hosted the event. More than 800 wreaths were sponsored for Rose Hill, which comes out to roughly 75% of their goal, according to the Wreaths Across America website. Well, with less than 40 days to the presidential inauguration, Meta and Amazon have both announced large donations to Donald Trump's inaugural fund. Gabe Gutierrez reports. Meanwhile, there has been another legal setback for TikTok as it tries to avoid a ban in the United States. A federal appeals court on Friday denied TikTok's bid to temporarily block a law that's set to take effect next month. The law would ban the app in the U.S. if it's not sold to a new, non-Chinese owner. The social media platform has indicated that it will ask the Supreme Court to step in on an emergency basis to block the law for now. As it stands, it's set to take effect on January 19th. Congress passed the ban with bipartisan support earlier this year, and President Joe Biden signed it into law back in April. People in San Francisco received quite the rude awakening this morning, a first ever tornado warning. It was issued as severe storms swept through the city. Officials are warning now about downed trees on roadways. Over 200,000 customers across Northern California were without power as of this afternoon. An atmospheric river is drenching much of the region, and up to 5 inches of rain is possible. Now, this is the time of year anglers are getting their equipment ready for ice fishing. Mike Anderson tells us what anglers can expect. Coming up on First News at 6, severe weather can be stressful as is, but people in San Francisco are dealing with something new amidst the weather chaos. Megan?